Okay, everyone, we are back. Thank you for staying with us. We are back with Jack and Josh from Dr. Brewlittle's, the immortal Rob Towey from Jersey Beer Guys and a Girl. Now, I want to go a little off track here right now. What have you done too much of during this social distancing and quarantine? Jack, what have you done too much of?
It's twofold, which is unfortunate. I've drank way too much, and I've stayed up way too late. I think last night I went to bed about 4:30, and that was early for me. Yeah, playing video games, COVID hit you a little bit different, seeing as I don't have a sleep schedule anymore. Although I did find out that I've lost weight and I've had more money in my bank because my personal hobbies have been going out to bars and eating and drinking with people.
Yeah.
So I dropped like 13 pounds and thought I missed a few bills. So it's that's not terrible.
I like that.
Yeah. Josh, what about you?
Ran out of things to watch on Netflix. Drank a little too much. I thought I was staying up too late until I heard how late Jack was staying up. So I guess I'm, comparatively speaking, I'm doing okay on that.
Great.
Other than that, just staying at home, maybe trying to do some productive projects on the house. And other than that,
you know what I found? I found saving money because it's just me and my wife now, and we usually go out 4 or 5 times a week, saving money. But I am drinking too much coffee.
Oh, yeah.
I'm working from home, and I'm 5 feet away from the coffee machine. And, if I'm working in the morning, I usually start like 7 o'clock, 7:30, and I'm working at my computer at the kitchen island. I'll do like 4 or 5 cups of coffee in the morning, which is not really good for me.
I'm up till 4:30 and I wake up at 8:30, 9 o'clock, so I need a little bit of caffeine in me.
How about you, Rob?
I'm probably eating too much. I am staying up later now, and I'm buying more beer than I usually buy. Normally,
Well, you're helping support the breweries, so that's good.
That is true. I'm traveling and buying beer, so that is what I'm doing.
That's good. That's good. Very good. Very good. Now we're gonna have a little bit of fun, guys. We're gonna have a little bit of fun. The NFL draft is tonight. Okay. Last minute, you have to make 6 draft picks. You have to make 6 draft picks. All of your first choices are gone. Okay, you have to make those 6 picks, but they're not players you're picking. You're picking beers.
Oh, I got it.
What 6 beers are you gonna draft? Jack, you first.
So I can't pick my first 6, you're saying, so I have to pick. All my actual picks are done.
Yeah, if they can be South Jersey beers, that's fine. But if you go outside, that's all right too. That's like free agent or international.
So I would go Eclipse's Citra Promise. I miss that beer a lot. I haven't been down there in a while. I should be. I'm going not a lot of people hear this, but Double Nickels Kush Daddy 420 Supreme. That's a big pick for me. They have a sour of that too. I'm going with outside New Jersey pick. I'm going Lord Hobo. I'm going the Boom Sauce.
Lord Hobo is good stuff.
Oh, oof.
Good stuff.
I guess I can't pick my own because I've been drinking a lot of my own product.
Why not?
I guess I could if I had to pick my own. It's honestly I'm a big hazy boy. I mean I'm 28, so kind of in my warehouse. But it's a tie between the hazy and the Pilsner that Josh made. Those are 2 big ones. That's 4. I guess it's Tonewood Fuego. It would be one of my first picks. I would usually always he's drafted already. I'm going Carton Boat. I think I could still pick a Carton Boat because Carton it's a really easy to drink beer. What's another really good one? I had a beer called what was it? I forget who it was by. I have to look it up. It's called $60 Nachos. That was really good.
Nice.
Can't remember who it was. So that would be my last pick. I'll update you with who makes it. But
okay, that's good. Josh, how about you?
All right, I'm going to assume that, I'm going to be optimistic and say everything we make at Dr. Brewlittle's is already drafted because everybody
go.
loves it so much.
I should have said that. Shit.
Sticking in Jersey, I like Tonewood Freshies a lot. That'd definitely be one of my picks. Double Nickel Session IPA, really good. Give a little love to my old workplace and say mainstay chocolate pills. Definitely real solid pills, one of the best. I'll also say Duck Rabbit Ginger Ale. Give a little shout to another former workplace. What's that, 4?
I think that's 4, yeah.
Okay.
You count, Rob.
Let's see here.
You're on the clock, Josh.
Throw a national one in there, go with Pilsner all day.
All that's good.
Last pick, gotta make it count, right?
Yeah.
I probably do Double Nickels Vienna Lager. That's one I enjoy drinking a lot. Right down the road from here. Just a good solid style.
Nice. Hey, Rob, you got any draft picks, or are you going to go free agent route?
No, I'll do draft picks. We're going to do Double Nickels Monty Reserve. That's the raspberry sour conditional on vanilla. We're going to go Tonewood OG Haze. We're going to go Chip Bottom Mexican Stout. We're going to go back to Tonewood to their poolside lager. We're going to go outside of New Jersey, and we're going to go to Stone. We're going to do the Chacavesa. And last but not least, we're going to do Cane Head High.
Nice. It's a nice beer selection. Okay, I'm going to do my 6. I'm going to try to stay in New Jersey. So first of all, I need the big hogs up front. So I need the big ones. So I'm going with Icarus Coffee Kalishnikov. And then I need a quick one at center, but I'm still going to stay a little dark. I'm going to go an Axe and Arrow Caber Toss.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't had that one.
Then I'll say Ship Bottom Mexican Stout also.
Another good one.
Okay, and then I'm going to go a little lighter with some of the beers. I'm going to go Slack Tide Belbuy. I'm going to go Tonewood Improv.
I do like Improv a lot.
Improv is really, really nice.
Beer class, that's good.
And then I want some kind of fruity flavor, so I'm going to go with Garden State's Blueberry Wheat.
That's a good one, too.
Nice.
I'd like to propose a last-minute substitution.
Go ahead. You're still on the clock.
I'm going to drop $60 nachos. So Hook Hearted makes 60s. They're out of Ohio. Still a phenomenal brewery. Shout out for 60s. I want to throw in King's Gold from Kings Road Brewery.
Okay.
That would be my sub. Because that beer, I mean, that's a good, like, that's one of those, if I don't know what I want, that's always my go-to kind of beer. So
Nice.
I'm gonna go King's Gold from Kings Road.
Okay.
That's a big one.
Good. Nice, nice. Thank you for participating in the draft. Hopefully, as general managers, you'll still have a job in another year or so.
We'll see.
Hey, Josh, question for you. If there was a beer that you could brew, and this is one of our iconic 10 brewer questions. There is a beer that you could brew without regard to cost, materials, or anything like that. What would you brew?
I'm a real kind of traditional guy, so I would probably just brew Czech Pilsner all day long.
I was gonna say Czech Pilsner or lager were my two guesses for you.
Boring answer, but it is what it is, I guess.
Yeah. Now you have Czech Pilsner. You have American Pilsner on too, right?
That's on our that's part of our clan starting tap list. Yeah.
We
Why
might
don't
move
you
the
tell
Czech
our listening and viewing audience the difference between the two?
American Pilsner, our version just uses American hops that use a little bit of adjunct to lighten the flavor a little bit. So it's a little bit lighter on the palate. Where Czech Pilsner's all Pilsner malt and uses Sots hops and uses a whole lot of them.
I think Rob's got it right there.
That's it. That's the Czech Pilsner there?
That's the
It's
American.
American.
We haven't made the Czech Pilsner yet.
That's the American one?
Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. Very. What's your most, Josh, what's your most fun beer to make? What one do you like? Is it the Pilsner, or is there something that it's a little more fun? You got a little more involvement in it?
I enjoy the West Coast IPAs. That's my most fun beer to make. I like the New England hazy ones too, but I don't know, the West Coast IPAs that's like what started the revolution. So that's kind of like, a little bit
The old style.
I think he only made his hazy because I asked him to.
Pretty much, yeah. You gotta go 2 times your paycheck.
And if I was going, I tried to stay within New Jersey for my draft picks, but if I was going outside of New Jersey, you need a nice veteran on the team, so I probably would have went with the Sierra Nevada.
Yeah, that's the
I
only
probably
one.
would have went Sierra Nevada.
I would have assumed that one was already picked, though.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's why I didn't
true.
pick a lot of the big ones. You have like Head High, you have a lot of big beers out here, but it's a tough question to build that team.
Yeah.
It's I would be willing to have those 24 on my team, though, that we picked, guys.
It'd be a lot better than my last year's fantasy team.
I think we did a pretty good job on that. Rob, were you going to say something?
No, I'm good.
Oh, okay. All right. Now, you haven't been able to brew in the brew house yet. So what are you doing now since you aren't brewing yet? Just making sure everything's operational, maybe doing some paperwork, figuring out, your supplies, what you're going to get in, et cetera?
Yeah, so a big part right now is, we're testing everything. I mean, you can only test so much with water, which is the unfortunate part. So our tap system is set up, but we're running water through it. Our brew house has been tested, but we ran water through it. So you don't get a lot of those. I mean, we ate some grain bags and some hops to test out, like filtration and transfer and knockout and stuff like that, but it's been all water. Everything that we put in a tank just gets immediately done. So it kind of sucks wasting some material, but, at the end of the day, we're taking this time to just dial in everything to a T. Our glycol is dialed in. Our taps are working now. Like, we had quick taps. We realized the fridge was too, high in temperature. So we're just taking this time to get all my paperwork settled out. I'm dialing in everything that we can. We're testing out some recipes at home. Josh is doing a great job home brewing stuff. Granted, they're smaller scale recipes, but at the same time, like, brewing is a lot about scaling anyway. So, if he can make these hopefully Rob can attest these great beers on a small home system, and anything that we're putting on our professional system is going to turn out, 10 times better. So we're just trying to dial stuff in right now and, work with the state. I mean, that's mostly my stuff, but that's been most of my time is working with the state.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. I got a very exciting question for you now. How's the water there? Are you using city water? How's that working?
Yes, but we filter it. We have a carbon filtration system that we run everything through that gets flushed out every, was it, Josh, 3 or 4 days? 4 days?
4 days, yeah.
It's flushed out every 4 days, so all of our water coming into that brew house is filtered.
Okay.
We don't mess around, man. We make our beer as nice as we can. We have the water being filtered coming in, and then we also have a 40-plate filter when we transfer, to the bright that we're ready to use, and they can still settle in the bright. So we're just trying to make everything as clean and nice as we can.
Okay. Now, both of you have been, well-traveled. You haven't been in New Jersey the whole time. What's the best beer that you ever had? The best beer that's not a macro beer that you've ever had elsewhere?
That's tough.
Now, Josh, it could be one that you made. You don't have to. We don't require you to be modest on this show.
I think I know who I'm giving it to.
Go ahead.
So
Go ahead, Josh.
I mean, I guess it's almost macro for the state, but I really have to give it to Tonewood Fuego.
Okay.
I mean, if there is any time that I don't know what I want, I immediately say I'm getting a Tonewood Fuego. When GDH comes out, I'm getting a GDH Fuego. Like, it is like my new, back when I didn't really drink a lot of craft beer, and there's nothing wrong with that. I would go like Yinglings, which I still drink to this day. I mean, I'll drink anything. Obviously, his body wasn't built by salads, but
right.
I mean, Tonewood has been my always now go-to beer, and it's something that I'll just snag off the shelf. I'll know it's never going to be bad. I know I'm getting a good can of it. Their sales reps are great, so it's always a good. I mean, like I said, for the state of New Jersey, it might be considered macro.
Mhm.
But anywhere else is still a microbrewery. But Tonewood Fuego is probably my go-to. Take it off the shelf. I could have that beer, just that for the rest of my life and be happy. Honestly, not super happy, but happy enough.
That's great. Josh, how about you?
I didn't make this per se, but I was part of it for a while before I got here. Mainstays Bowling, their IPA. That's probably one of my favorite beers. Definitely my favorite beer to drink over
Nice.
other places.
Now, we talked about beers. We talked about the football draft. How about on the music side? Now, I know you're not brewing in the brew room, but when you're doing your testing and everything, what does the brew house sound like? What's your soundtrack there?
That's mostly you, man. I'm with you.
I would probably be listening to the draft right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of sports talk radio.
Yeah.
Well, we still got about a half hour before it starts. So a lot of sports radio and everything?
Yeah, and then whatever music just comes to mind, just
Okay.
got a little speaker out there and, play whatever.
Okay. All right. Good. As far as your materials that you're using, are you sourcing them? Is there a local source? Is there a particular supplier you're getting them from? Or is that going to change once you're in full production?
It depends on the materials. The malt's all local from Delaware. The hops are, we haven't come to a point where we have really good local hops yet, unfortunately. So they're just, Yakima Valley, some of them from Continental.
Use Lupion Exchange a lot. I mean, it's the best place to go.
Okay.
It's the most reliable.
Okay, yeah. You're using mostly pellet?
Yeah.
All pellet. Yep.
Yeah. And the lupulin coming in? Okay.
Huh.
All right, that's good. Now, what are you looking forward to most when you open?
Being open.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's really just it's that general. We have everything ready. If the state said, hey, you can make beer tomorrow, we'd be ready in a week and a half, 2 weeks.
Oh, good.
Like we have the insides done. We have our CO. I have my bench. Our bench is like the last thing we don't have finished and upholstered, and that's getting done tomorrow. The painting is getting done tomorrow. Like we're ready to go, and it really is just we just want to be open because, Josh put it in a really good way. It's kind of a testament to his beer is that, in this kind of climate, we're probably going to open with to-go sales. We're not going to be able to open taproom sales. We're just not.
Okay.
We're hoping that hopefully in a weird way, hopefully we're not able to open taproom because hopefully we're going to be open soon.
Okay.
That it's tough selling to-go beers and having someone get the true idea what your beer tastes like. The second you package it, there's oxidation. We don't have any way to really bottle it. It's all crowlers and growlers. You drink it a day or two later, you're losing carbonation. Like there's a lot of things that can go wrong that could, really move your opinion on the taste of a beer. The best place to get it is right off the tap in the tap room. That's the best place you're going to get it.
Okay.
So I wouldn't feel super comfortable opening for to-go sales with okay beers because then those okay beers become like okay beers. They lose a little bit on the top of it. But I truly think that Josh made, even from just home stuff, and I can't wait to see it on our system, good beer. Like beer that I would know that if we put it in a growler, someone would be back to buy another growler. And I truly believe that. So, we're just kind of excited to get our beer out there, get some different people tasting it, and get some opinions on it pretty much.
Now, I saw on the proposed tap list that you have, I saw a hard seltzer.
Yeah, G&G Bubbly, the lemon lime seltzer. Yeah. Not everyone drinks beer, and that's okay. We're going to have either like a root beer or like a kombucha or something on tap because not everyone drinks beer, and even people who drink beer don't like drinking all the time. So there's nothing wrong with giving them an extra option. And people who kind of snub their nose at it, I think, don't really understand what craft beer is all about. It's just about getting people to drink beer, or drink what they like, and in a better environment than going to a bar or drinking at home. You're just trying to get out there and hang out with your friends, and whatever you want to drink, you should be able to drink freely. So we're going to put a lemon lime hard seltzer on tap once we get open.
Well, my son, he drinks a lot of stuff. He drinks vodka. He'll drink Tito's and Club all day, and he'll drink bourbon. One thing he doesn't drink is beer. So he will drink the hard seltzer. So if he's going into a brewery like by our local is Manafirkin, and he knows he'll go in and he'll have a hard seltzer. in
Well, it's a
there.
difference of like, you're going out with a group of 5 friends and one person doesn't drink beer, you're not going to a brewery.
Right.
You're losing 5 people
Exactly.
coming to your brewery because you think you're too proud to say, I only make beer, I only do this kind of stuff. And, you're losing business because of that. And, like I said, I mean, it's about getting people to drink in New Jersey. And if I'm fine drinking seltzers. I golf, and I can't be drinking 7-8% IPAs for 18 holes because I ain't going to make it 18 holes.
That's
So
true.
I usually drink some, light pilsners and some seltzers, but whatever gets people out there in your brewery is what really matters.
You got to keep it. You're playing golf. You got to keep it sessionable.
Yeah, there's no big boys.
Yeah, it's gotta be crushable. Keep the
My
Yingling
golf game's
cans
already
out
shit,
there.
so.
Golfing. Where do you golf mostly, Jack?
Anywhere around here. I mean, it's honestly, I realize what addiction is like because I've been having a little bit of withdrawal, which sounds terrible, but I go to Pennsauken a lot, Ramblewood, Rancocas, running deer, but we haven't been able to play. I even called places in Delaware. We still had tee times, but you need a Delaware ID to go play. Me and my brother-in-law were going to drive an hour and a half to go play golf in Delaware, but you need an ID to play there, so we couldn't do it.
Yeah, a lot of and really that's different. The states because with my job, I talk to people from all over the Eastern Seaboard, and some states are very different than it is in like New Jersey, New York, because we got so many more cases up here.
We're so densely populated.
Yeah. Any plans for? Do you have like barrel plans for the brew house and for the brewery?
Like barrel aging?
At some point, I'm sure we'll experiment with that.
I mean, we have our big thing is that we bought some yeast drinks and stuff so we could, when we're brewing, pull beer off of our knockout and stuff and make like a keg or two of it, like a half barrel of it.
Mm-hmm.
We just experiment. Like our second round, we're kind of experimenting with the idea of we moved Pilsner down and moved the session up. And I'm going to take like 2 or 3 kegs off of it. And we're going to do like, a pickle session, maybe a habanero session, and like a honeydew session. Like we're going to have these experimental series that, it's a half a keg. It's a half keg. If it goes well, great. It went well. We sold it, on to the next thing. If it goes bad, it's a half a keg and, we're not too worse for wear. So I always like the idea of experiment with weird stuff and see what we can make. So barrel aging stuff is definitely on our radar.
Did I hear you say that you're going to do a pickle beer?
Yeah, I like pickle beers a lot.
One of our more experimental home brewers in the Ocean County Home Brewers Association. I'm president of Ocean County Home Brewers Association. Butch Krill. He's very into the experimental side, and he made a pickle beer. He actually made a pickle beer. It came out very nice.
Yeah, we thought about doing originally we were going to do a spicy pickle beer, but then we thought, why not split it up? So we're going to do like a sweet, sour, and spicy session run on our experimental. So we have a little bit of everything. Yeah, and like I said, if it that's what beer's all about, man. Just experiment and see what works. And if it goes well, great. If not, then whatever.
And we actually tried it at the meeting, and someone gave him a recommendation. He said, "What you need when you serve this is a salt-rimmed glass."
Yeah, that'd be good too. Yeah. Every time I had a double nickel, so there was like St. Nicholas or whatever it was, and then they double the nickel. That was a pickle. I just want to have like a corned beef when I'm drinking it.
Okay. How about now? I know any description you say of anything nowadays, there's a lot of words like tentatively and hopefully in that. When do you anticipate that you guys may get those final approvals? Any idea at all?
It's tough. I mean, I've been working with the state rep for, probably about 2.5 months now, and we're definitely coming in some roadblocks on this that we don't think should be happening, to be perfectly honest. We think a lot of them are kind of getting buried in paperwork to an extent. I'm not afraid to say that I think we're getting buried in a lot of paperwork. And we've submitted everything that we submit, and then, 2 weeks later, it's something new we have to submit, and we're definitely getting a longer process than a lot of other breweries are getting, in my opinion. To be perfectly frank, I don't know a lot of other breweries except for a few that are trying to open right now, especially in the current climate we're in. So it really depends on how quickly the state reviews the information we send, which I had a, hour-and-a-half phone call with them today, and I'll have everything they need for them by tomorrow. I'm trying to do it as quickly as I can to move the process along. And, we definitely understand that, everyone's going through a lot, can't leave your house. It's harder to work from home. Like there's a lot of different factors that are, especially tough right now. And of course, that as we're trying to open up, we get a global pandemic and a state precedent. But
Yeah.
as quick as the state reviews it is as quick as we can get open. We still have to manufacture and we still got to make beer. So even if they told me to go tomorrow, I still need a week and a half, 2 weeks to fill my tanks and get them in kegs and get them into people's hands. So really right now, we don't have a definite answer. I would love to say, next week we're going to have everything in and they'd let us go and we'd be open, by the end of April, but unfortunately, we're just not sure. I mean, we're doing everything we can, but, we're just kind of getting roadblocked right now, but we're trucking through it as best we can.
Hey, Rob.
Yep.
As a local, because you can actually walk to the brewery, what would you like the brewery to be and what would you like it to be like?
What would I like it to be like? I'd like it to be I'd like it to be a place where the people from town that know craft beer and enjoy craft beer meet up to talk about craft beer. We're probably going to get a lot of people in town that are going to check it out and not know craft beer and think it's the local watering hole where they're getting Budweiser and all that other beer. But I just hope it's a place where people meet and drink good beer. A lot of people meet and drink good beer.
That's what we hope.
Yeah.
And honestly,
sure.
to kind of big on that is, in a weird way, I almost welcome someone who only drinks Budweiser to come into our brewery, because the big thing for craft beer for me is that there's going to be a beer out there for you. If you like beer, there'll be another beer that you like, especially a craft beer. And I think a lot of the times someone who just drinks Budweiser has been handed a 8%, IPA or a 10% double IPA, and they've been like, here, try this. This is craft beer. And they're going from some 4%, hose water to a 10% beer, and they're not going to like it. You're just not. There's no way you do.
Oh, not with the hops and flavor in it.
No, it's too much. So a big thing for me is stepping stones. I mean, that's why we have the American Pilsner. That's why our next round is a lager. But there's going to be a place that I can start you at where I'd say, start with this, try this. If you like this, I can move you to the next thing. I'm not going to just bombard you with a 8% beer. But that's kind of a really good point. Is I hope that a lot of people come here who enjoy craft beer, and I kind of hope a lot of people who come here who don't enjoy craft beer, we can introduce them to it to grow the craft beer New Jersey market.
Excellent. What do you want to tell the folks about Dr. Brewlittle's? Where you're going to be located, how they can check you out, etc.
Yeah, so we're at 108 East Main Street in Maple Shade, New Jersey, 08052. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook. Just Google Dr. Brewlittle's, Instagram, Dr. Brewlittle's, Facebook. We're all on there. I run our social media, and especially with the free time that I've had, I've had plenty of time to be running it, and I try to answer as quickly as I can. Feel free to send us a personal message on either one of those platforms. Our email is info@drbrewlittlesbeer.com. I answer all the emails as quickly as I can. And actually next week, I'm looking to make a Q&A video we're going to release where people can submit their questions. We just put that out today on Instagram and Facebook to the email or any direct messages. We're going to answer all the questions we can. We'll have a more stable tour of the brewery and let everyone see what we're doing. And, we hope that people kind of stick with us through, the time that we're having, and just know that we want to get open as quick as people want to drink. So.
Excellent. Thank you, Jack. All right, well, let's get start wrapping up here. Rob, what's going on with you guys? Jersey Beer guys? Hey, girl.
Got a new episode coming out pretty soon where it's just us. We're going to try to record again tomorrow, but it kind of sucks doing the Zoom thing and not being together, but it is what it is. Vic, I just wanted to say, you early, I'm going to circle way back to the beginning. The brewery's strong. Go online. I bought my merchandise today. All the proceeds go to everything for Brewery Strong. So make sure that you go on and buy some swag and help everybody out.
Yeah, excellent, Rob, for sure. For sure. Yeah, it's nice. It really is proud that South Jersey beer scene is associated with it. Great job, Rob Callahan from Tuckahoe. Our founder, boss, John, is vice president on the board. Alexis Deegan from the Brewers Association. Matt Ziegler from Zigmeister, all involved with it. A great board. I believe Crystal from Axe and Arrow is on that, as well as Augie Carton and everyone's favorite guy, Mike Kibowitz. is on it. So as far as we're concerned, South Jersey beer scene, keep an eye out for the Facebook Live. There's actually one going on right now, although you're seeing this in the future. We're in a different time zone right now. Facebook Live, keep an eye out for them. Keep an eye out for our Zoomcast too. But I'm like Rob, I'm looking forward to when we can have some people in person and talk to them and raise a glass and drink it, and I'm sure we all are. So
Yeah,
with
it's
that,
actually, I want to thank you two real quick for still doing this, because without guys like you doing the podcast and the Zoomcast and talking to people and setting stuff up, I mean, you're trying to keep the New Jersey breweries alive, the word out there. So I appreciate you two doing this. Thank you very much.
oh, thank you, Jack. Thank you for coming on, both
Absolutely.
you and Josh. Thank you both. Good luck with Dr. Brewlittle's. Hopefully,
Thanks.
we're open sooner than later. As far as we're concerned, like I said, keep an eye out for these Zoomcasts, our Facebook Live, Brewery Strong, Ocean County Home Brewers. We're doing everything virtually right now. We actually had a meeting. Our meeting last night was virtual. We had Dave Carpenter from the AHA on and actually did a presentation on lagering. You would have loved it, Josh. He did a presentation on lagering last night for the two. So support your breweries, Brewery Strong. Remember, if you want to learn to home brew or anything like that, support your local home brew shops also. You got Keg and Barrel in Berlin. You got Eastern Homebrew down the shore in Atlantic County in Egg Harbor Township. You got Fermented in Hamilton. A lot of shops. There's a homebrew shop right down next to Tonewood too. If you happen.
Yeah, Philly Homebrew in Oakland.
Yeah, right there, right 2 doors away from Tonewood. So with that, guys, thank you so much. Rob, thank you for coming on with me tonight. It's a pleasure always, my friend. And Jack, Josh, thank you. Everyone, have a good night. Cheers and Brewery Strong.
Yeah.
All right.
Have a good night, guys.
See you.